Welcome back to VIP Scholars ESL, your go-to podcast for improving your English for dining at a restaurant and gaining confidence in real-life situations. Today, we're tackling a common challenge: how to order food in English like a native speaker. Whether you're traveling abroad, dining at a fancy restaurant, or just grabbing a quick bite, it's important to know how to place your order confidently and correctly in English. In this episode, we'll cover key restaurant English phrases, ordering food like a native speaker, and even some polite phrases to use when you're eating out. Are you ready to learn how to order with confidence? Let's dive in. In this episode, we'll cover how to get started when the waiter comes to take your order, how to ask for drinks and make specific requests, how to order food and modify your meal, how to ask questions about the menu, polite phrases to use during your meal, how to ask for the bill and pay for your meal. Let's get started. Getting started with your order. Imagine this. You walk into a restaurant, you're seated at a table, and the waiter comes over with the menu. You're excited, but a little nervous because you want to sound natural when you order. What do you say? Don't worry, we've got you covered. First things first, when the waiter comes to your table, they might say something like, "Hi, are you ready to order?" Or, "Can I take your order?" This is your cue to get started. You can respond with a simple, "Yes, I'm ready." Or if you need more time, you can say, "Not yet. Please give me a few more minutes." Let's try that together, shall we? Ready? "Can I take your order?" "Yes, I'm ready." Or, "Not yet. Please give me a few more minutes." Great job. Ordering drinks. Up next is ordering drinks. Picture this. You're at a restaurant, and the waiter comes to take your order. Let's start by listening to the first step. The waiter comes to your table and asks, "Hi, are you ready to order?" Or, "Can I take your order?" Now, if you're ready, you can say something simple like, "Yes, I'm ready," or, "Not yet, please, give me a few more minutes." You can say, "Yes, I'm ready," or, "Yes, I'm ready to order." It's a bit more specific. Let's try it together. I'll be the waiter, and you're the customer. Ready? "Can I take your order?" "Yes, I'm ready." Great job. Perfect. See, you're already sounding like a native speaker. Now, the waiter will probably ask, "What would you like to drink?" If you're in doubt, you can always ask, "What do you recommend?" Guys, let's practice this. If the waiter says, "What would you like to drink?" What can you say? Listen to these two options. "I'll have a coffee." Or, "Can I get a black coffee, please?" Which is better? Pause the video now and drop your comments below. If you said, "Can I get a black coffee, please?" you are correct. The more specific you are, the better. So, you could say, "I'll have a black coffee, please." Or if you prefer tea, "I'll have a green tea, please." But don't worry, if you don't know what to ask for, you can always ask, "What do you recommend?" Let's practice that. Ready? What do you recommend? Great. You're doing awesome. Up next is ordering food and modifications. All right, the waiter comes back, and it's time to order your meal. The waiter will say, "Are you ready to order?" Or, "What can I get for you today?" You can say, "Yes, I'll have the grilled chicken," or, "I'd like the pasta with marinara sauce, please." You can also ask for modifications. For example, "Can I get that without onions?" Or, "Could you add extra cheese?" Or, "I'll have the chicken salad, but could you leave out the tomatoes, please?" It's polite to say please at the end. Let's try that together. I'll be the waiter again. "What would you like to order?" "I'll have a chicken salad, but could you leave out the tomatoes, please?" Great job. You sound like a native speaker already. Asking about the menu. Now, let's say you're not sure about something on the menu. Maybe you have dietary restrictions, or you want to know how a dish is prepared. In this case, you can ask questions like, "Is this dish vegetarian?" Or, "Does this dish contain nuts?" Let's practice that. What if you're not sure if a dish is vegetarian? You could say, "Is this dish vegetarian?" And if you're not sure about how spicy a dish is, you can ask, "How spicy is this dish?" Let's practice that. Ready? How spicy is this dish? How spicy is this dish? Great. Don't hesitate to ask questions about ingredients or preparation. It's a good way to make sure you're ordering what you want.
Polite phrases. One thing that will make you sound even more natural is using polite phrases. For example, after your order is taken, you can say, "Thank you," when they bring your food, or even, "This looks delicious, thank you." If you need anything else, like extra napkins, you can say, could I have some extra napkins, please? It's important to be polite. For instance, after the waiter brings your food, you can say, "This looks delicious, thank you." Let's try that together. This looks delicious, thank you. This looks delicious, thank you. Perfect. Up next is paying the bill. Once you've finished your meal, it's time to pay the bill. When you're ready, you can say, "Could I have the bill, please?" And if you're paying with a friend, you can say, "Can we pay separately?" Let's try that one. Can we pay separately? Can we pay separately? Great job. Now, don't forget to thank the waiter before you leave.
Fluency Builder. Alright, let's get into some practice now. This is the Fluency Builder section, where we'll help you get more comfortable with the phrases and sentences we've just covered. We'll go through some role-play scenarios, and I want you to repeat after me to get used to saying these phrases. The more you practice, the more natural it will sound when you order food in English. Let's start with the first part of the order. Imagine you're at a restaurant, and the waiter comes over to take your order. The waiter might say, "Hi, are you ready to order?" or "Can I take your order?" Let's practice how to respond. Can I take your order? Yes, I'm ready to order. Perfect. Now, the waiter might ask you what you'd like to drink. Let's practice ordering a drink. If the waiter says, "What would you like to drink?" Here are a few ways you could respond. Repeat after me. I'll have a black coffee, please. I'll have a black coffee, please. Great. Now let's practice with a different drink. Let's say you want tea. I'll have a green tea, please. I'll have a green tea, please. Fantastic. Now, the waiter will ask you what you want to eat. You can respond like this. I'll have the grilled chicken, please. I'll have the grilled chicken, please. Or if you want something else, like pasta, you could say, "I'd like the pasta with marinara sauce, please." I'd like the pasta with marinara sauce, please. Great. Now, let's practice some modifications. What if you want to change your order a little bit? Let's say you want the chicken salad, but you don't like tomatoes. You could say, "I'll have the chicken salad, but could you leave out the tomatoes, please?" I'll have the chicken salad, but could you leave out the tomatoes, please? Awesome. Now, if you want to ask about something on the menu, like whether a dish is vegetarian, you can say, "Is this dish vegetarian?" Is this dish vegetarian? Great. If you're unsure about how spicy a dish is, you can say, "How spicy is this dish?" How spicy is this dish? Perfect. Now let's move on to a very important part, that is, being polite. After the waiter brings your food, you can say something like, "This looks delicious, thank you." This looks delicious, thank you. Great job. Now, when you're finished with your meal and ready to pay, you can say, "Could I have the bill, please?" Could I have the bill, please? If you're eating with a friend and want to pay separately, you can say, "Can we pay separately?" Can we pay separately? Awesome. And remember, practice makes perfect. Now, let's do a quick review. I'll say a line, and I want you to repeat it. Ready? Let's go. Can I take your order? Yes, I'm ready to order. What would you like to drink? I'll have a black coffee, please. What would you like to order? I'd like the pasta with marinara sauce, please. Can we pay separately? Can we pay separately? Excellent. You're really starting to sound like a native. Keep practicing, and soon, you'll be able to order food at a restaurant with confidence. And don't be afraid to make mistakes, that's how you improve. Bonus vocabulary. Vocabulary is important for fluency. Let's review some vocabulary that will make you sound just like a native. Word tackling. where tackling means we are going to handle or discuss a specific topic or problem. For example, in the podcast, we are going to deal with or practice how to order food in English. It's a casual way of saying we are going to work on something or learn how to do something. You're tackling the challenge of learning English. Grabbing a quick bite. Grabbing a quick bite means eating something quickly, like when you don't have much time to sit down and enjoy a full meal. For example, if you're in a hurry, you might grab a quick bite from a fast food restaurant or a snack on the go. You're grabbing a bite before your meeting begins. You grabbed a bite before your English class. Eating out. Eating out means going to a place like a restaurant, cafe, or food stall to have a meal, instead of preparing and eating food at home. For example, if you go to a restaurant with friends or family, you are eating out. Example, we're eating out tonight at a new Italian restaurant. After listening to an English podcast, the friends went to eat out. Modifications. Modifications are changes you make to your food order. For example, if you don't like a certain ingredient or want something added or removed, that's a modification. You can ask the waiter to modify your meal. Some example phrases are, could you make this without onions? Can I have that without cheese? Could you add extra sauce, please? It's a polite way of saying you want your food prepared in a different way than what's on the menu.
Key takeaways from today's episode. 1. Be polite and clear when ordering. 2. Ask questions about the menu if you need to clarify or make special requests. 3. Use specific phrases like, I'll have and could I have to sound more natural. Thanks for joining us in the Fluency Builder section. Remember, fluency comes with practice. See you in our next podcast.